Today I'm going to be making homemade tomato sauce. Also, I guess you could call it marinara sauce. And on Weight Watchers, this is going to be about a third cup is 0 points. Once you get into the half a cup range, it's 1 point, which is a lot better than if you buy it in the store because the store-bought usually has sugar in it. So I just want to tell you first, the first thing you do is you put about a tablespoon of olive oil in a really good nonstick pan. And so I already did that. And then you're going to, you can either chop up, or I use a Cuisinart to mince up about a good size medium to large onion. So it looks like it's almost 2 cups, not quite. And I also add in that about 9 garlic cloves. So, and mince that all in there together. And then I put it in the, heat up the pan, and I put it in there and cook the onions first and the garlic. And so get that translucent. And then I add about 25 tomatoes. I have homegrown tomatoes and some that I bought from a farmer's market. You don't have to peel them because we're going to use this mill to get rid of the seeds and the skins after we're done cooking them a little bit. So you just cut them in half, or if they're larger, you might want to quarter them. And you don't have to take anything out. You don't have to take out the little ends or anything because it's all going to come out anyway. So once the pan is heated, then you're going to add the onion and garlic to it and cook it down for, I don't know, about maybe 5 minutes. Just kind of guesstimate before you add the tomatoes. So then, once you add the tomatoes, after the onions are done, then you're going to cook it for about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, depending on how much juice. So you don't put any spices, or at least I don't, in right away, because you're going to cook it down 15-20 minutes, cook the raw tomatoes and the onion and all that, and then you're going to let it cool, and then we're going to run it through the mill, and after that is when I add my spices. So I will show you after that is done and once the tomatoes are getting cooked. All right. Okay, so this is what your tomatoes will look like when you put them in your pan. You got to make sure that you take out any bad spots, so you don't just throw them all in there. I do, have them, quarter them, depending on the size. And, it's about 25, tomatoes, more or less. And so then you just cook them down. Let me get my, and, move them around a little bit. And it takes about 20 minutes, 25 minutes to cook. If it takes longer, that's okay. Just don't burn them. Turn it down once they get going and they start cooking up a little bit. I like to get tomatoes that are really, really ripe and homegrown if you can. If you can't, I do grow some of my own, but I did go to a farmer's market and get some because I ran out. I only have a little patio that I put tomatoes on, and so I didn't have as much as I would like. But here is the stuff that you're going to put in it after you mill it. You're going to need some Parmesan cheese, basil, parsley, a little bit of cayenne pepper. You're going to need, if you can it, like I do, I canned these a while back, you're going to need citric acid, about a half a teaspoon for the amount that I... Okay, so we're back. The tomatoes are all cooked down. It did take a little bit longer than 20 minutes, but, just kind of, this is what it should look like, sort of like stewed tomatoes. As long as it's, you don't want to get it too much because you don't want all the juice to evaporate. So then what I do is I put it in a container like this, and I bring it over to my food mill. You put it inside, like that. And I will have a link for the food mill below. I don't know if I can do this while holding this. I ordered a tripod, but it hasn't come through Amazon yet. So let's see if I can get this to stand still. There we go. So then you just turn it, and it separates all the seeds and the skin, and it's so easy, and I love it. I forget what the name of it is, but like I said, I'll have a link below if you want to get one like this. But this way you don't have to skin it, you don't have to seed anything, it just mills it right through, and you can see the sauce down there. So what I do is once I'm done milling all of this, then I put it back in the pan, and then I'll show you the spices that I put in and how much I put in, or thereabouts. And then that's it. I'm going to can my sauce because I don't have a lot of room in my freezer, but you can also freeze it. It freezes really well. Just put it in a good Ziploc freezer bag and freeze it, and there you go. Or you can follow the directions for canning. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so here is the sauce after it's been milled and all the skins are out and the seeds are done. And you can see about how much you have. Now I'm going to go ahead and cook it for another maybe 20 minutes, to cook it down a little bit. I'm going to put in the spices. Don't ask me how much. You put in what you want to put in and taste it and see if you like it. This is fennel seed that I'm putting in right now. Oregano. And I don't even know how much I want to put in because I'm going to put it in and then I'm going to taste it later and I'm going to see, does it need a little bit more of this? A little bit of cayenne pepper, parsley. Of course, if you have homegrown, that's good. Actually, I have some basil out on my patio, so I might go put some fresh basil. I have here's some regular dried basil. And then after it's cooked for a while, you want to check it. Put a little bit of pepper. And you want to check it for salt. I'm not going to put the salt in until I taste it. And that's it. I'm going to put some garlic powder and some onion powder in this as well, which I don't have out, but I'll put that in. And cook it down, like I said, simmer for about 20 minutes. Then that's it, you're done. And it's delicious. I put this just like over everything. And on Weight Watchers, it's 0 if it's a third of a cup. It's a half a cup is 1 point, because the one thing that we haven't put in yet, and I don't put in until I'm completely done, is about a third to a half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese. I don't put that in until it's completely cooked, and then I just put it in and let it melt, and then that's it. I taste it and see if it's good. So that's my tomato sauce, and I use it just like you would canned tomato sauce, but I also use it like you would a marinara sauce as well. It's good just with everything, anything that you can think of, chicken, fish, stuffed cabbage rolls, stuffed bell peppers, everything. It's delicious. Okay, glad you liked it. I hope you put a thumbs up, and if you want a comment, if you have any questions, feel free, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks. Bye.